It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed. With the brass nozzle in his fists, with his great python spitting its venomous kerosene upon the world, the blood pounded in his head, and his hands were the hands of some amazing conductor, playing all the symphonies of blazing and burning to bring down the tatters and charcoal ruins of history. With his symbolic helmet numbered 451 on his stolid head, and his eyes all orange flame with the thought of what came next, he flicked the igniter, and the house jumped up in gorging fire that burned the evening sky red and yellow and black. He strode in a swarm of fireflies. He wanted above all, like the old joke, to shove a marshmallow on the stick in the furnace, while the flapping, pigeon-winged books died on the porch and lawn of the house. While the books went up in sparkling whirls and blew away on a wind turned dark and burning, Montag grinned the fierce grin of all men singed and driven back by flame. He knew that when he returned to the firehouse he might wink at himself, a minstrel man, burnt corked in the mirror. Later, going to sleep, he would feel the fiery smile, still gripped by his face muscles, in the dark. It never went away, that smile. It never, ever went away, as long as he remembered. So began Ray Bradbury's dystopian novel, Fahrenheit 451. Bradbury wrote the novel in 1953, partly in response to World War II, but its themes are even more relevant today than they were then. Bradley's novel tackles many themes, man versus self and man versus society, but the ideas that Bradbury describes are much more. The novel is mainly seen as a testament to the horrors of censorship, which is true, but while Bradbury was alive, he liked to remind readers that the people in the novel first chose to give up their freedoms and allow drugs and entertainment to become the focus of their society. They chose to be ignorant, and their educational system is forced to conform by focusing on sports and competition instead of learning. In telling the story, Bradbury outlines the many sides of an ideological war that still takes place around the world today. The novel's characters willingly betray one another and refuse to talk about important subjects because it's easier than talking out their differences. Finally, it's important for people to read the novel for many reasons. First, readers are given an example as to what can happen when they give up their right to seek out knowledge and fully express how they feel through writing. It's also a great example of what can happen when a society is distracted by mindless entertainment, celebrity status, and pleasure seeking. Although it was written almost 70 years ago, the society described in the novel is eerily similar to our own. Today's parents, organizations, and even governments try to block information by banning novels or creating distrust between people and informational sources. Everyone walks around with earbuds that block out the world around them and hide their dissatisfaction through passively binging for hours on end. Few people care about how or even whom the government is run by. Most people would rather stay at home and watch Netflix than help their neighbor or community through volunteering, and even fewer can name their own local representative in their state or federal legislature. Which leads readers to ask themselves, have we started down the path to the world of Fahrenheit 451, or is there still time for people to care? What changes would we have to make in order to avoid that future of mindless zombies who drug themselves until they care about nothing and no one? What can you do? Well, that's enough for now. I hope I've given you some food for thought. And as always, do good, be good, make good choices.